made. Hopefully those present will hear the meeting. However, in the event of a technical failure, the chairman will adjourn the meeting and set a new time to reinstate the meeting. Please note that the meeting is being recorded. All members of the committee should have their video on, but will remain muted until the chairman invites them to speak. All members of the press and public will remain muted unless they've registered to speak, and the chairman will let them know when they can make their presentation. Thank you, Chairman.
Yes, thank you. Right, can we just start? My name's Liz Perry. I'm the chairman. I'm the deputy chairman, but now I'm the chairman of this particular meeting. Can we just start on item 1? Any apologies for absence? Mrs. Nicholson, please.
Thank you, Chairman. I've received apologies from Councillor Keane.
Right, thank you very much. And can I now ask for all officers and the councillors to introduce themselves and also confirm they can see and hear at the same time with their introductions, starting with the council officers, please.
Yeah, I'm Lizzie Ball. I'm the Parks Assistant. I've been your code of conduct for the RLT3 and RLT2 applications.
Okay, thank you. Is Liam Sweeney present?
Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Fabulous. I'm Liam Sweeney. I'm the Community Development Project Officer who has also prepared the project grants for today's meeting.
Thank you very much.
Thank
and from the legal department, can Dorothy just confirm that she can see and hear everything?
Good afternoon. Thank you, Chair. I can confirm I can see and hear the meeting, and I'm legal advisor to this committee.
And finally, from Democratic Services, can Mrs. Nicholson confirm that she can see and hear everything?
Good afternoon, Chairman. I'm Leila Nicholson. I'm the committee manager, and I can confirm that I can see and hear everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now we go to the actual committee members themselves. Can I confirm that Councillor Brian Bolt can see and hear everything?
Yeah, Brian Bolt, Councillor for Cannington and Wemden. I can see and hear the meeting.
Thank you very much. And can we, Councillor Julie Cordiner, can we confirm you can hear and see everything?
Yes, this is Councillor Julie Cordiner. I can see and hear everything. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And can we just confirm that Councillor Polly Costello can hear and see everything?
Thank you very much, Chair. Yes, I can see and hear everything.
Okay, thank you. And can we confirm that Graham Godwin Pearson is present and can hear and see everything?
Yes, I'm here. I can see you and I can hear you all.
Thank you very much. Can we just confirm again that Alan Matthews can see and hear everything?
Yes, Chair, I can see and hear everything.
Thank you. And now can we confirm that Councillor Lee Redmond can see and hear everything?
Yes, Chair, like the others, I can see and hear you all.
And finally, Councillor Charlie Riches, can you confirm that you can see and hear everything?
Yes, good afternoon, Chair. Everything working fine.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Right, on to item 2, the minutes of the last meeting that were held on the 25th of February, which is a long way away. Can you confirm, can we just have a proposer and a seconder that they are the correct minutes? Hang on.
Chair, Councillor Redmond, happy to propose if required.
Thank you.
Councillor Costello, happy to second.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, right. And now we'll go on to urgent, third item, urgent business. we have decided that we're going to slightly change the agenda and have the RLT3 and RLT funding before the main project grants today, due to the fact that there are speakers wanting to speak. Are the committee members happy with this change to the agenda?
Yes, Chair.
Okay, everybody happy with that?
Yes, Chair.
Thank you very much.
Don't they?
Right, now we go to public speaking time, and
Chairman,
yes.
Chairman, can I just go in? Can we just have confirmation of interest, please, before we start anything else?
Oh, right, okay, we can do. Yeah, any declarations of interest? Sorry, I was going through the agenda. Hang on, I can't see.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Ward Councillor Wedmore and Mark. That's all, thank you.
Can I just confirm that's Appendix A on the project grants?
Correct, Amundo.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else got any declarations? I myself declare that I'm the ward councillor on Appendix H, if that's just noted. Did you want me to go back to public speaking time, Leila, or just or have we?
The public speaking time, they'll make their presentations at the point that the Parks officer presents their application. So Amanda will do hers for Overstory, and then once that's been agreed or debated and decided on, we'll then do North Petherton, and that'll be Mr. Farnell.
That's fine. Okay, so now we can go on to item 7 on the agenda, the RLT3 funding. Can the officer please give the report?
Yeah, so Overstory, the current tennis courts at Overstory Cricket Club are in a state of disrepair. They would like to upgrade them and turn it into a mugger. This would include a tennis court, basketball court and football goals, and would allow sports access all year round. They're also wishing to purchase new cricket equipment to replace old and worn items and reflector boards to keep everyone safe. Overstory has had a lot of cluster support from local areas such as Fidgington Parish Council, Cannington Parish Council and Otterhampton. They are requesting £37,000. There's £42,266.19 that is available to them. The total cost of the mugger is £41,873, and the total cost for cricket equipment is £4,500. Overstory Parish Council and Overstory Recreation Ground will make up the rest of the funds.
Right, that is your full report, is it, Lizzie?
Yes, Chairman.
Thank you. Right, Mrs. Nicholson, can we have this? Is the speaker available at the moment?
I hope so.
Hello, yes, I'm here.
Hello, is that Amanda McLaurin?
Yes, it is, yes. Hello, yes.
Okay, welcome to the meeting, and you can start whenever you're ready.
Okay, thank you. Overstory Village Hall and Recreation Ground look after the recreational facilities in this small but very community-minded village on the edge of the Quantocks. Much has been undertaken in the past few years to ensure that all age groups are catered for, and this has been very apparent in the work that has already taken place at the recreation ground. A new play area was officially opened in June 2017, and the event was very well attended with support from many of the surrounding parishes, and extremely positive feedback was received by the committee. Since that time, the cricket club and play area have continued to attract more and more people to the recreation ground. This is reflected in the number of children who take part in the twice-weekly cricket training sessions. During these times, those families with younger children or those who are not part of the cricket club take this opportunity to use the play area facilities, and it is very much a community gathering. Numbers of those attending the club have increased year on year, and it was anticipated that this year would have seen the highest level of participants ever. Unfortunately, this was not to be due to COVID-19. However, what has become noticeable following the easing of the lockdown restrictions is that the grounds have been used by many people of all ages to meet from a distance or as a family unit for picnics, walks and general exercise. With playgrounds now in use again, this is also proving popular. Tennis has been played, and the increase in the awareness of what is available has become very clear to those who live locally. This has also been observed by and commented on by members of the parish council. New safety clothing and equipment is necessary to replace items that are coming to the end of their useful life. With a reinstatement of sessions and looking forward to the 2021 season, these items will help to instill a renewed sense of pride and excitement in the club and help to promote their aims and aspirations. The existing tennis courts that are there are in complete disrepair, and although people do use them, to have the opportunity to bring them up to a high standard for even greater use would be a real asset to the grounds. It would also give all users the chance to have a year-round sports area, which would complement rather than compete with other local facilities. Another point of note is the pride which is taken to keep the grounds maintained and in good condition. During the last few months, despite no cricket training sessions, work has taken place on a regular basis, and this is reflected in the overall appearance. The addition of a multi-use games area would only enhance the offering, and the same care and attention would ensure the long-term sustainability. It has also been commented by the parish council and other users that the time and effort taken to provide opportunities for children and their families to take part in sports and events at the cricket ground can only be a good thing. The project as a whole would benefit the community enormously in the short to medium term, but more importantly should be viewed as long-term and ongoing provision. It also has the potential to drive even greater numbers of people to consider how they live their lives and what their priorities are with regards to both their physical and mental health, with local facilities being readily available. This is even more important now to help promote the overall well-being of many people following restrictive, challenging and reflective time. That is the end of my report.
Right, thank you very much. Thank you. Are there any questions from the members? Right. Councillor Redman, I can see you're typing.
Councillor Bolt.
Oh, Councillor Bolt, sorry, beg your pardon.
I think Councillor Redmond was typing at the same time as me. Should you receive all these the funding, how soon will the upgrading be delivered?
I think that's a question for Lizzie. Is that?
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, it is for Lizzie.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, that's sorry. I think that's a question for Lizzie, the officer.
Sorry, I don't know what happened there. My mic wouldn't unmute. Can you repeat the question, please?
Yes. Should the funding go through? Have you any indication on how soon it will be delivered?
In their application form, Overstory was saying that they wanted to start the work in August. Speaker, is that still correct?
We really wanted to get it started as soon as possible. So yes, I mean, what I will need to do is go back to the Recreation Ground Committee if it's granted, and also then the chosen contractor, who I can imagine probably would be able to start fairly soon. I've been having a look at the equipment today, and that's something that we'd like to get onto fairly soon, because there do seem to be some very good deals, discounts and that sort of thing around at the moment, which could obviously help when it came to the financial aspect of it, with contributions from the Parish Council and also the Recreation Ground Committee. So the sooner the better, because it would be very nice to have an opening ceremony in April, possibly of next year, ready for the cricket season to start in full force.
Thank you.
Okay, and there's a Councillor Redman has a question and comment.
Thank you, Chair. I was looking at this application. It's heartening to see that it's got so much support and that would obviously help them go forward. My question is in relation to the remaining funds. Obviously, I hope that if we're able to support this, you're able to get a good discount, which will reduce that. But should the worst case happen, and you need to find, I think it's £9,000 or so, which is the remaining figure, are you happy that can be met?
I'll let the speaker answer that one.
Hello, sorry, I missed part of that because it told me I was on mute, so I missed the middle section of that question, I'm afraid.
No worries. I was just saying how it's heartening that you've got such good support. And the question really was just, if we're able to go with this, there's quite a big lump of money outstanding. If it is the full £9,000, are you happy that you'll be able to meet that?
Oh, yes, absolutely. About 2 or 3 years ago, there was a donation from a lady who lived locally, and it was to be spent on things to benefit the area. So we've been very, very careful in the sort of projects that we've undertaken, and we did keep back a lump sum for leisure, recreation, that sort of thing. Part of the donation did go to the play area, which was very good. Some of it's also gone to a community room, some's gone to the village hall, but to be able actually to offer some facilities. I mean, we have, when they have a training night, they have 40 to 50 children in the juniors. They have, I think it's about 15 to 20 in the younger groups. They have up to 120 children actually there, which obviously means quite a few families. So I think the support is definitely there. So, and yes, the funding is also in place.
That sounds really good. Chair, if it helps, I think this is a relatively easy one for us. I'm happy to propose if someone would like to second.
I'm happy to second that.
Okay, thank you very much. And that's for the full amount?
Yes, Chair.
Yes, thank you. Right. I think what I'll have to do now is go around to each councillor in turn and see if they are happy to propose it. I think that's how we're going to work it. So if we can start with Councillor Brian Bolt again.
Yes, I'm present for the application and for it.
Thank you. Councillor Julie Cordiner, did you hear? And are you happy to propose?
Yes, I heard the application, and I'm happy to support that.
Thank you. Councillor Polly Costello, did you hear all the...
Yes, all happy to support.
Happy to support, thank you. Councillor Graham Godwin Pearson, are you happy to support?
I heard it as well, I'm happy to support it.
Thank you. Councillor Alan Matthews, are you happy to support it?
Yes, I've seen and heard everything and happy to support.
Thank you. Councillor Lee Redman, you heard and you're happy to support?
Seen and heard, Chair, happy to support.
Okay. Councillor Charlie Richards, seen and
Yes, I heard the application and I support it.
Thank you. And I'm happy. I too heard everything and I'm happy to support it as well. So so how is that looking, Leila?
Thank you, Chairman. Just confirm that that's unanimous. So that'll be 37,000.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Amanda. I hope it wasn't too stressful for you. Thank you very much. If you're still there. Has she gone?
No, I'm still here. Just unmuted myself. Many thanks. Very much appreciated. And I'm looking forward to contacting the recreation ground with the good news.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay. Right. The next one on the RLT is for the North Petherton playing fields. Can the officer give the report again, please?
Yeah, thanks, Chairman. The Memorial Field in North Petherton needs improving to meet the needs of the community. After consulting with the local residents, it has become clear that they wanted a refurbished and extended playground for infants and juniors. A mugger, trim trail and outdoor gym was also wanted. North Petherton are requesting money to help towards the mugger. The total project cost is £250,000. North Petherton are asking for £14,700, and that is the total funds that is available to them. Additional funds to complete the project will come from a variety of sources, including the Trust's own funds, developer contributions, RLT2 funding, and funds from Viridor credits and the Hinkley Point Community Fund. A budget for annual maintenance will be agreed and incorporated into the overall revenue budget of the Trust. North Petherton Town Council fully supports this project and the cluster members. That is my report, Chairman.
Right, thank you very much. Mrs. Nicholson, is the speaker available at the moment?
Yeah, unmuted, Mr. Farnell.
Thank you.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Farnell.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to the grants meeting. If you want to proceed and just carry on with what you are wanting to say.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Chairman, for the opportunity to provide some background and further insight into why we feel our project should be supported by RLT3 funds. I don't propose to rehearse the project details, which have already been well documented in our application. North Petherton Town Council has got 2 recreation fields, Parkers Field to the northeast of the town and Memorial Field to the south. Both of these are managed by the Trust. In 2015, Parkers Field was improved in a £116,000 project that was funded by Sedgemoor District Council, Viridor credits and the Hinkley Point Kim Fund. In contrast to that, existing play equipment at Memorial Field is outdated and some of it's unfit for purpose. It's underused by the community because they feel strongly and rightly that it's in need of improvement. So the Trust consulted widely with the North Petherton community between June and September last year to try to assess what was needed at Memorial Field that would also be sustainable in the future with the increasing housing development taking place in the town. The consultation showed clearly what the community wanted, as is detailed in our application. And on this basis, the Trust decided to seek funding from a variety of sources, which altogether would provide the estimated £250,000 required. So 3 suppliers provided detailed costed proposals for the design of the space, which was based on our brief, which in turn had been derived from the consultation. So we're very grateful for the comprehensive help and advice that we've received from Scott Mason's team on many aspects of this design process. Applications for funding have been submitted and have been approved by both Hinkley Point Community Fund and Viridor credits. And this, taken together with the RLT2 funds that have already been approved, contributions agreed from developers, the Trust and the Town Council, we have now actually secured all the necessary funding except what's to be decided here. So if this application is successful, the £14,700 grant towards the cost of the mugger will enable this project to go ahead. After protracted negotiations, we finally selected Hags as our preferred supplier, and we now have a project plan for construction, giving all the details, and it begins in August and finishes on the 19th of November. I hope this short presentation has provided some insight into the careful consideration of community need, the means by which we can address it, and the legacy it will leave in terms of making lasting improvements in the health and well-being of all age groups. We sincerely hope you'll support this exciting project, and thank you for your attention.
Right, thank you very much. Have members got any questions with regards to that application? I can't see anything coming up. Oh, hang on. Right, thank you. Okay, so we've got a proposal from Councillor Charlie Richards. Is there a seconder, please?
Yes, I'll second, Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Right. Now I'm going to have to go through everybody again if they're happy to agree to that particular grant. So we'll start again from Councillor Brian Bolt. Did you hear and see everything, and you're happy to?
Yes, I was present for the whole application, saw and heard it all, and I'm for it.
Right, thank you very much. Councillor Julie Corder, were you present through the whole of the presentation, and you're happy to propose?
Yes, I'm happy to support that, and I heard it.
Thank you. Councillor Polly Costello.
Yes, heard it all. Happy to support, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Graham Godwin Pearson.
I heard it all as well, Chair. Happy to support it.
Thank you very much. Councillor Alan Matthews.
Yes, Chair, I heard it all and happy to support it.
Thank you. Councillor Lee Redman.
Yes, likewise, Chair. Happy, seen and heard, and happy to support.
Thank you. And Councillor Charlie Rich.
Yes, heard the whole presentation and very happy to support.
And I heard all the presentation and I'm happy to support. So, Mr. Stippleton.
Thank you, Chairman. That's a unanimous vote again, so lovely.
Okay, right, thank you. And thank you, Mr. Farnell, for your presentation.
You're welcome, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Goodbye. Right, the next one is the project grants. Have we any speakers that's available at the moment, Mrs. Nicholson?
Chairman, do you want to just do RLT2 first?
Oh, beg your pardon.
It's only for note, but we still need to just have a quick look at it. See if there's any questions.
Beg your pardon. I am sorry. Yeah. It's just a note on that one. Are there any questions regarding that? No, I think we can go ahead. Right, okay. So the next one is item 6, project grants.
Yeah, it looks, Chairman, if we just want to just wait one moment, if that's all right. We're just getting the speakers in. There's 3 or 4 speakers just to be pulled in, so we're just doing that now.
Okay.
I'll let you know when when everybody's linked in. Okay. Just bear with me.
Chair, while they're coming in, perhaps you could help. It might be a question for Leila, I'm afraid, but I noticed that we're proposing some amendments to the criteria. Are we using, for these grants, are we using the old criteria or the new? Because if it's the new, Leila, surely we'd bring those forward first.
No, the project grants officer will explain this anyway. The agenda item 9 is a separate issue completely. It's
That's
not.
Fine. If it's going to be explained, I apologise for coming in.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's okay. So agenda item 9 is going to be a separate issue, and the project grants officer will explain. The only change to the criteria that we've made or that's been made is the environmental and sustainability ones, but Liam will make that. We'll just explain that to you in a moment. Chairman, looks like all our speakers have now come in, so if you want to start going ahead with the project grants applications.
Right, thank you very much. Is Liam there? The first one is for the Wedmore Cricket Club. Liam, are you there? No.
He is there. Just put himself on mute.
Okay.
Liam? you there? Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, is that Liam?
It's not Liam, actually. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure. My name's Chaz Maguire. I'm speaking on behalf of Webmore Cricket Club. I didn't know when the time to come in was. Sorry.
Yeah, okay, thank you. It's all right. We're waiting for one of the officers to present your report, or his report.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Can everybody hear?
I apologise if there's any feedback. My earphones were working at the start of the call and have since decided to stop working. So if you hear any feedback, let me know and I'll just have to quieten my volume. But I've taken my earphones out now.
Thank you very much.
So, Chair, I asked whether or not you'd like me to share my screen so that I can show you the report and go through it.
I think if you don't mind, please.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so Leila, I'm just going to present my desktop. Okay, can you confirm that you can see my desktop?
Not at the moment.
Okay, give it a moment.
Okay, there you go.
Fabulous. So this is the grants report. Before I go through each of the applications, I'm going to highlight this section here, which you've all read. So just to draw attention to the fact that we have added environmental and sustainability elements to the grants criteria, and I spoke with our legal officer and she advised that we can get written confirmation from all of the members who all unanimously were happy to proceed with the proposed changes. They've been highlighted at the bottom of this report in Appendix I, and they were the addition of three points. So we are now increasing the area of sustainability and environmentalism that groups can apply for. As a result, so those amended criteria have been updated since then, and they were used for this report, but none of the applicants that applied take those points into account. So for the future ones, we are going to more heavily advertise these changes in the hope that they won't have been in vain, and that it'll encourage more groups to apply for sustainability and environmental applications. Before I proceed, is there any questions on that?
I think Councillor Richards has got a comment on the environmental criteria.
Sure.
Yes, thank you, Chair. This may need to be something that comes back for later, because no doubt will need to be looked at. But now the Somerset County Council have published their pollinator action plan. I think it would be quite useful for us to include as a specific point projects that support the Somerset Pollinator Action Plan. We haven't yet discussed this at the Climate Change Task and Finish group within Sedgemoor. It was something that we were waiting to see, and I'm sure that we will be looking at it. So maybe I'm just, because no doubt the legal people will have to look at it before it comes to us for a vote. I just wanted to highlight that at this point, because I think it would be useful to put in fairly soon in the future. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions?
No, I think you. Okay, carry on.
Great. Okay, perfect. So, okay, so back to the report. We've had 8 grant applications. The total amount for funding that they've asked for is £16,587.61. There they are in order. I'm just going to go through them one by one. Chair, would you like me to invite the speakers for the applications where there are speakers present? Would you like me to go through them first, then invite the speakers to speak, and then do the ones after?
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay. Leila, can I confirm that we've got speakers for application A, E and F?
That's right, yeah.
Great. Okay, well, I'll go through those first. So the first one is, here we go, Wetmore Cricket Club. So Wetmore Cricket Club have applied for £2,500, and this is to go towards a new large diesel powered roller for the cricket grounds. I've described in the description what it's to be used for and why it's important for them, and the beneficiaries. The total cost of it is £8,370. I've listed some funding which has or has not been successful. I think the speaker can update on the individual points that were pending at the time of the application, and I've included all of the other relevant information, and I have all of the proof of everything, so nothing's outstanding. So if I can hand over to Pete Brown or Ches Maguire to have their 3 minutes discussion.
Okay, they're both unmuted now.
Thank you. This is Chaz Maguire speaking on behalf of Wetmore Cricket Club. I'm the youth point of contact, the junior point of contact for the club. So, do you want me to kick off?
Yes, please.
Okay. So Wetmore Cricket Club was established in 1850, and over the last 4 to 5 seasons, we've seen a resurgence in their playing fortunes and a significant increase in senior and junior memberships. The club currently fields a first 11 in the Somerset League Division 4 and a second 11 in Somerset League Division 8 North. Club also field a Sunday team that play in Somerset Sunday League and a midweek T20 league team. 2019 also saw the creation of a ladies team who plan to play a number of friendly fixtures in 2020. The club has 3 youth teams, under 11, under 13 and under 15 age groups, and also a thriving under 9s All-Stars. We have a membership of 56 adults, including 11 ladies and 98 youth cricketers. In an attempt to ensure as many junior games are played without interference from weather, these matches are played on the artificial wicket. The other major benefit to these developing cricketers is the trueness of bounce and pace that the artificial grass pitch provides. One of the most satisfying aspects of the club's in recent successes is the number of junior players aged 18 now playing in the senior teams. Last season there were 10 cricketers that made this transition. It is therefore essential for the further development of these young cricketers that the natural grass pitches that the senior teams play on are played with a similar level of consistency on the ground. This can only be achieved with significant investment in the machinery and its maintenance. The club has an enthusiastic grounds team, and over the recent seasons has made significant further investment in new mowers and new scarifier. The existing roller was refurbished in the 1990s and it has been in a great deal of use since then. It is a Frankensteinian roller in the sense that it's been made up from a number of separate salvaged elements, plus a number of bespoke machined items cobbled together. Somehow it's worked. However, in the last season, the club had to pay over £250 for maintenance and had to hire in a replacement for the duration of the repair and a further cost of £200. We're being advised that a number of major parts are badly worn and their replacements are not available on the shelf. Therefore, the club have decided that it needs to replace the roller. The Cricket Club are now seeking to raise funds to purchase a new pitch roller and have sought advice from the Somerset Cricket Club Development Officer, but were notified that there were no ECB grants for the machinery purchase in either 2020 or 2021. We are committed to raise 8370 for the new roller and therefore have sought funding from a number of different sources. I'll quickly list them. The Clark Foundation, £750, Wetmore Community Power Cooperative, £500, Wetmore Parish Council, £750, Cricket Club Golf Day, £1,250. Just Giving crowdfunding, £515. Existing club funds, £1,500. We're waiting, we've got a six-a-side event, and we estimate somewhere between £500 and £700 may be raised from that, leaving an additional £2,500 that we need, which is what we've applied for with yourselves. Just a sec, sorry. Historically, the club have lost junior players to large clubs with better facilities, but this is now not the case. We want to retain as many as possible, so the continued provision of quality grass pitches is central to our future success and progress. It would be really great if the Grants Award Committee could help us reach this target. And that's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Are there any comments from members, please? I can't hear anything. Right. So in that case, is there anybody wishing to propose and second this grant for the club?
Yeah, Councillor Bolt, I'll quite happily propose it.
I'm happy to second it, Councillor Graham Godwin-Pearson.
Thank you very much. Okay, that's in full, is it? Right, okay, so we'll have to do this again and go through all the members individually. Right, Councillor, we'll try it the other way. Councillor Charlie Richards, did you hear all the presentation and you're happy to agree with the grant?
Yes, I listened to the presentation and I fully support.
Thank you. Councillor Lee Redmond, are you happy? Did you hear and happy to support?
Chair, yes, I've seen and heard all the debate and happy to support the proposal.
Thank you very much. Councillor Alan Matthews, did you hear and you're happy to support the proposal?
Yes, I'm sure I heard everything and I do support the application.
Thank you very much. Councillor Graham Godwin-Pearson, did you hear and are you happy to support?
I did and I am.
Thank you very much. Councillor Polly Costello, did you hear and the report and you're happy to?
Yes, thank you, Chairman. Very happy to support. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Julie Cordiner, did you hear and are you happy to support the proposal?
Yes, I did hear and I am happy to support. I did have a question, but I couldn't get it out quick enough. Would I be able to ask that now? Or is it too late?
No, carry on.
Oh, it's just really about, and I know nothing about these machines at all. And as I say, I'm happy to support. I was just wondering about the use of diesel, if there wasn't a more sustainable fuel that they could use, purely if diesel, I know in some diesel cars and things it's being outlawed. So I was just wondering if they'd looked into anything that might have more longevity for them. But I'm happy to support it and I heard everything.
Right, okay. I don't know whether the speaker can respond to that, but I think if you're happy, that's fine. Councillor Brian Bolt, did you hear the report?
Yes, I was present and heard the application and for it.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Nicholson, and I'm happy to support the grant as well.
Thank you, Chairman. Yeah, that's unanimous. And that'll be an award of 2,500.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Right, now we go on to...
So if the next...
Yes, thank you very much. Mr. McGeer, you will get your grant in full. Are you there?
I've muted them, sorry.
Thank you very Thank you. Okay.
I don't know if you can hear me, but no, we're very grateful. Thank you on behalf of Wedmore Cricket Club.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Cheers. Okay. That's okay. Bye-bye.
Okay, goodbye. Bye-bye. Right, so we're on to the next
Next application is Appendix E for North Petherton Cricket Club.
Cricket Club,
Chairman.
and have. Did you want to give the report, or did you want is the speaker Owen Irish?
Can you hear me?
Good afternoon. Is that Mr. Irish?
No, okay. How are you?
Fine. Thank you.
Very well.
Now, did you want to give your report, Liam, or did you?
Yeah, I'll introduce it, and then if we can get Owen to give his 3 minutes afterwards. Can you all see my screen again? I've highlighted Appendix E. So North Petherton Cricket Club, they are looking for project funding of £2,500 towards towards improving the cricket club grounds, and it includes the refurbishment and resurfacing of their synthetic cricket pitch, replacement of their practice cages, nets and skirting. I'm sure Owen can go through everything. The actual total cost is £8,002.80, and I've given the breakdown of the other elements there. And then for your information, you've also got the approved funding from the parish council, and then how they'll make the remaining up. I've highlighted in yellow throughout this report anything that has come since I submitted it, so it's more for myself to provide you with an update. So I will hand over to Mr. Irish.
Thank you very much, Liam. So obviously my name's Owen, and I've been part of the club now for sort of 23 years. So at the ripe age of 30, you can imagine I started pretty early. Now, in terms of, as Liam sort of touched upon, there are sort of multiple projects that all clubs will face. However, it may be easier just to sort of narrow it down to just the one, which is the total opposite of what Wedmore were appealing for, which was in the sense that we've now sort of come to the end of our time with the existing artificial wicket. And as he touched upon, it has multiple benefits, and therefore we are looking to replace our existing artificial wicket. Now, we've been at our new ground for 13 years, and this artificial wicket was taken from our existing ground, Beggars Brook, to our current ground, Field Park, and it has served many junior games, junior training sessions, and is a valuable asset to the club and its facilities that we can offer. So as I've said, where we are as a club, we're 13 years into our new ground. It's maturing very nicely. However, I'm sure you appreciate that it costs a lot of money, it takes a lot of time, and we are starting to reap the benefits of such an attractive facility for juniors and senior members. So we've ran sort of 3 to 4 age groups over the past 23 years, and have benefited massively as a result of doing so, not only offering opportunities to the local community and obviously young children to participate in the sport, but we've obviously done well on the cricketing front, sort of getting promoted, finding ourselves in the dizzy heights of Whipple cricket as a result of investing in such sort of youth development. We've got 3 senior teams. We've got a first and second 11 team that play on a Saturday, and we also accommodate a Sunday team. And as you can imagine, very difficult times for lots of sporting organisations, but cricket itself is in a fairly precarious position in the sense that obviously it's missed its season, and it's becoming less attractive for certain participants, but we seem to still be striving. And we've had a great show out this year so far for the juniors that we are accommodating. So basically our grant will no doubt benefit all parties within the local community and within our cricket team. So hopefully we'll attract some new players from obviously the existing North Petherton area and the recently developed Sedgemoor and Wilstock areas. And yeah, so basically the £2,500 will go some way to what is a very expensive uplift and replacement of the existing artificial we have in place.
Okay, thank you very much. Councillor Redmond, you want to ask a question?
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, thank you for coming to speak to us today, and I'm sorry you had to come back after the last meeting. It's good to see that the clarification. It's good to see that the clarification is there. Congratulations on all your hard work. The bid looks amazing. The question, this fits all of our criteria, which is wonderful. But the question, I suppose, is related slightly to your bid, in as far as obviously with the current pandemic and situation, are you back up and running again? And do you think you'll be able to get any games in this season?
So thank you very much, Councillor Redmond. Obviously appreciate your positive words towards the ground. So yes, so obviously the pandemic has hit cricket hard, but very recently we've had to move very, very quickly on accommodating what the sort of shrubbery and Whipple have set up. So they've basically set up what they're calling a bubble league, and games commenced last Saturday. As you can imagine, no doubt it would rain, and we'd got rained off. So yeah, we are up and running. We've got 7 games to facilitate. Obviously, various games being at home and various games being away. And we've also are offering Wednesday and Friday evenings to all, so under 11s, under 13s and under 15s. And we are running 1 senior side for the remainder of the year. We've entered 2 junior sides into junior leagues. And obviously, as I've already touched upon, 1 senior side, which, to be honest, it's classed as a league, but it's fairly non-competitive. It just encourages people to stay involved with the game of cricket, not take up golf, and get back playing to what we enjoy doing on our Saturdays during the summer.
Thank you for your response. Is that okay if I come back, Chair?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Neither games, cricket or golf, are to my liking, but that's everyone up under their own. Back to your application, it's really good. You've got all the things that I think that we need. You've got town council support, you've got user support, and you've come back with a clarification. So, Chair, it doesn't. There's no contemplation on my part. Should you need it, I'm happy to make a formal proposal that you make the full grant if no one else has got any questions.
I think there's one question from Councillor Riches about the business grant, business rates.
Yes, Chair. Just a clarification of how much they received for the business rates grant and how close they are now to full funding.
Yeah, so we were successful in acquiring the full business rates grant, which I believe is of the sum of £10,000. Now, in terms of this money being used to facilitate the artificial wicket, then that's not the intentions for that money. Obviously, the money itself will go a considerably long way to replacing the lost funds as a result of sort of the sort of 50-60 annual subscriptions we would receive from senior players, and obviously the sort of probably sort of a further 40-50 junior subscriptions. Now, to give you a sort of a vague figure of that, it's about £80 annual subscriptions for a senior. So even if you just do nice easy sums of 50 members, that's equating to £4,000. Now, obviously, we've still got there's no let off with in terms of the business rents that we have to pay, the ground rent, the running costs, i.e. electric, etc. And therefore that grant has no doubt taken a lot of pressure off the club, but we'll still not be we wouldn't be in a position to lump that towards facilities, because just who knows how long this COVID-19 will continue to impact the running of the club. So that will be used as emergency funds, which is its sole state of why we acquired it.
Are you happy with that, Councillor Riches?
Yes, thank you. Yes, and I'm happy to second the proposal.
Okay, I think if we have any more comments from members, because I have got a proposer and a seconder. Councillor Redmond, you're proposing it, and Councillor Costello is seconding it.
Councillor Richards has actually seconded it.
Oh, right.
Councillor Costello had put a note on to say she would.
Yes, thank you. Okay. Right. So we have to go to each individual councillor again. Councillor Brian Bolt, are you in favour of the grant?
Yes, at present heard the application and am for it.
Thank you very much. Councillor Julie Cordiner, are you?
Yes, I heard the application and I also support the application.
Thank you very much. Councillor Polly Costello.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, I support it.
Thank you very much. Councillor Graham Godwin Pearson, do you hear it all?
Thank you, Chair. I support it as well.
Thank you. Councillor Alan Matthews, did you hear? And I'm happy to support.
Yes, I heard everything and happy to support.
Thank you. Councillor Lee Redmond.
Yes, Chair. All heard and fully support as my proposal. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Charlie Richards, are you happy to support?
Yes, heard and I'm happy to support. Thank you.
And I heard and I'm happy to support the proposal. Okay.
Thank you.
So,
sorry,
yes.
Chairman. Yeah, that's everybody. It's unanimous, and that's an award of 2,500.
2,500. Right. Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Irish, for your report.
No, thank you very much, and I really do appreciate it, and it will go a long way to helping the club.
Thank you. Thank you. Right. Now we go on to Appendix F. Mrs. Nicholson, have we got the speaker?
I hope so. Bear with me 1 minute. Let me just... 5, 6. That should be Mrs. Curran.
Hello, Mrs. Curran.
Thank you for adding me.
Hello, yes.
Yes, I am.
You're through to the grants meeting. Liam, did you want to go through the report for the minute?
Yeah, okay, thank you.
And then we'll hear from Mrs. Cullen straight away afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. So we have an application here from Live Naturally Community Interest Company, and they, for those that aren't familiar with their organisation, they do a variety of different things. They run the Wilstock Gardens childcare. They also run healthy lifestyle projects, which include family fitness sessions, children's cooking lessons, and healthy eating courses for parents. They also do other activities, which I'm sure Mrs. Curran can talk you through. They're applying for funding to support the building of a new play area for preschool age children, which includes converting an unused area into a grassy play area for children, building a large sandpit, and a chicken run. I've got the breakdown of the costs there, including the estimated beneficiaries. I also can, and I'm sure Mrs. Curran can highlight that it is not just for paying members of Wilstock or members of their childcare. It's open to the public. They are applying for £2,500. The total cost is £5,449. And it meets the criteria, and I've received all of the supporting evidence. If I can hand you over to Mrs. Curran. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Liam. And yeah, I'm Solveig Curran from Live Naturally, and we are a community organisation started in 2006, and we promote healthy activities. And we run 2 different activities. One is called Wilstock Garden Childcare, which is a preschool for preschool children and holiday activities. And most of the children attending is children from the local area, like Ham or Wilstock Village. And around 70% is funded children. We take 2-year funding for families which is entitled to that, and 3- and 4-year funding for children from areas. And we also run healthy eating projects, and our biggest funding giver is Summer Schools and Learning, and we've been working with them since 2006. and we ran healthy eating projects. And the project's been running from 2019 to 2020, like from September to July, has been to reach 300 families to teach them about the importance of giving the children healthy food according to government guidelines. And we have more work to put into helping families early, how better that is in the long run, because the eating habits and the habits you make early in life, research shows that sticks with you later in life. And we also have a grant from Children in Need to run for sessions, health eating sessions for children which have special requirements regarding food. They have like gluten intolerance or loads of health issues regarding food. And that's a 3-year project. And now we are in the process of building new premises next to where we are based, just off Road Lane, and it's going to be finished in September. And we have managed to secure some funding towards the building cost of the build. And now we're applying for funding, for this funding to make an outdoor play area. And at the moment, it's just like an area with just concrete and like it's nothing there. And we're going to create that to a grassy green area, make a big sand pit. And we currently have like some animals, some chickens and stuff. We're going to move in the same area. And it's going to be used for all the different families we are working with, including the children attending the childcare or all the different projects we're running in the local community. And so we really hope that you will look favorable at this application and support us with this funding. So then we will have a nice indoor facilities and also outdoor facilities to help us to run our projects. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any questions from members, please? Oh, gone quiet. No, in that case, I am looking for a proposal.
Yeah, I'm quite happy to propose that, Councillor Bolt.
Thank you very much. And a seconder, is that the full amount?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Is there a seconder, please?
I'll second.
Councillor, I've been happy to second.
Thank you very much. Right, okay, so we go through each councillor now again. Councillor Bolt, did you hear and you're happy to propose?
Yeah, President, heard the application and am for it, yes.
Thank you. Councillor Julie Cordiner, are you?
Yep. I heard the application and I'm happy to support that.
Okay. Councillor Polly Costello, are you happy? Were you present and happy to?
Yes, not at all. I'm very happy to support. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Graham Godwin Pearson.
I heard it as well. Happy to support it.
Thank you. Councillor Alan Matthews, are you happy? Were you present and happy to support?
Yes, I heard everything. I do support the application.
Thank you. Councillor Lee Redmond.
Yes, Chair. All heard and fully support.
Thank you. And Councillor Charlie Richards, present throughout and happy to support.
Yes, I heard the application and I'm very happy to support it.
And I'm happy. I was present and I'm happy to support the application. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. That's unanimous, and that's 2,500 as well.
Thank you. Well, I wish you luck, Mrs. Cullen, with your project.
Thank you very much. We are really appreciating this support. Thank you. It means so much for all the families attending our projects.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Right, so if we go ahead, there are no more speakers.
That's correct, Chairman. We'll now go back and do the remainder of the applications now.
Right, okay. So we go back to Appendix B, North Petherton Football Club. Liam, are you there to give a report?
Yes, thank you, Chair. So North Peloton Football Club, they are applying for £1,393.61, which is half of their project cost, and they are a local football club they have mixed membership of adults and children. They are looking for a grant to contribute towards improvements to their clubhouse. Full deep clean, redecoration and replacement of damaged main floor and other minor items. They've highlighted that they are intending to bring new use into their community, into their the clubhouse for members of the community, and that includes meetings and for local clubs and societies. They have not got back to me, or they were supposed to be attending today's to speak, so I didn't chase them as I normally would, because I thought they'd be able to update for me. But so that at the time they were pending £350, and they are going to be funding through their reserves the remaining amount. And for certain clubs, I've highlighted where due to COVID-19, a lot of the balances for different clubs and organisations perhaps aren't a true reflection of what their annual running costs will be, because their income and their expenditure has dramatically changed. So, for example, in this one, as of the 20th of July, because of ring-fenced costs from their closing balance, they now have only £6,833 in their treasurer's account, which brings them within the 6-month running cost rule, which is part of the criteria. Yeah, that's it for the general overview. Have you got any questions, members?
Chair, if you could, Councillor Redmond.
Yes, Karen.
It's just some clarification, really, Liam. You say there's some pending information. Obviously, I was looking at the supporting funding. It doesn't appear to be anything from the Town Council. I wonder whether that was one of your questions.
Yes. So the now I might be getting mixed up with the other application from North Peloton, but and correct me if I'm wrong. This is either outstanding and was supposed to be discussed today, or North Peloton are not providing any funds for non-COVID groups. Sorry, and when I say that, I mean any projects or activities that are not related to COVID-19 and support for the community are being postponed until September. So let me just double check, because
I think that's Burnham, Liam.
Was that Burnham?
Yeah, I'm sure that's Burnham that has said that.
Well, in that case, then that was one of the outstanding questions which I was waiting for. I can actually, whilst I've got you, check the application and get back to you on that one.
Right, okay. Yeah. Councillor Richards, do you have a question? Well, it's answered.
Well, I was wondering the same thing. The parish council supported the cricket club, but there's no mention here. So I just wonder, unless there is more information in the application, I think perhaps we should defer this till another meeting.
I've got it open. At the time, they replied saying that the reason why they had not applied for the local town or parish council was that it was their first time using grants, and therefore they were not aware that they could apply for it. I'm just going to check my correspondence, because I would have naturally chased them to say it's worth you doing so ahead of the application. Sorry that I don't have that information to hand, but I will find it. So yeah, it's entirely up to members for their decision based on that information.
I think perhaps we'll have to go to the members to see if we just defer it till the next time.
It's worth highlighting the next application is October, and they have put in there that they would like to schedule their works for August, just for your information.
Okay, right. Councillor Costello, you wish to propose?
Yes, thanks, Chair. I'd like to propose we go ahead and support it. I mean, you know, North Petherton are coming in fast with all their applications. We've supported the cricket club and various other schemes. So, yeah, I think we should just go ahead with this one and support it too.
Okay. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Bolt.
Yeah, yes, I've just seen Councillor Redmond's comment. Yeah, I'm quite happy to second it, and I think anything that's doing a deep clean and making an area safer for the members is almost under the COVID regime. But I think it's admirable, and yes, happy to second.
Thank you very much. Right, well, I'll have to go back to members now to get their vote on this. So we'll start. Councillor Charlie Richards, have you heard the full report, and are you in support?
Yes, I've heard the report and explanations, and I am happy to support.
Thank you. Councillor Redmond.
Yes, Chair, you caught me by surprise doing it backwards, but thank you for keeping me on my toes. I've seen and heard and support the proposal.
Thank you. Councillor Matthews.
Yes, I've seen everything. I'm happy to support.
Thank you. Councillor Godwin-Pearson.
Thank you, Chair. I've seen everything as well. I'm happy to support.
Thank you. Councillor Costello.
Yes, thank you. Very happy to support.
Thank you. Councillor Cordiner.
Yeah, heard everything and happy to support.
Thank you. And Councillor Cordiner. I think I've just done you, haven't I?
Oh, that was me.
Yeah, sorry, beg your pardon. And Councillor Bolt.
Yes, that's me. President heard the application and I'm for it, yes.
Yeah, and I know I am. Yes, and I'm quite happy to support the application. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. That's unanimous, and that's £1,393.61.
Thank you. So we'll go on to Appendix C, which is the All Saints Church at East Huntsville. Liam?
Yep, thank you. So they are applying for £2,500 for total project costs of £5,100. And so they are a local church that provides a range of activities to support the whole community. And more recently, the church grounds have provided a pleasant space for local residents not wanting to travel far, although it is well used throughout the year. When I spoke to them, they highlighted that since lockdown, it is the numbers of local residents that have been wandering and enjoying the local area, their church grounds has increased dramatically. And what they've noticed throughout that is that the current path that goes through their grounds, it's not suitable for wheelchair access. They currently have wood chip, which is rotten and in places uneven, and they would like to replace this with a cement underlay with stone to create a solid, stable, and accessible path. They've included the. There you are. Sorry, when I said an underlay, I meant the level and compact hardcore base. So they're doing it properly. So it should last for a long time. And I've received all of the supporting evidence and highlighted how it meets the criteria. That's me.
Thank you very much. Any questions from members, please? No.
Chair, Councillor Redmond.
Yes, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Just some clarification, Liam. Really, just that you did say that it fitted all of our qualification criteria and all the supporting documentation had been received. Yes.
Yes, and I've put in there how it meets the application, how the application meets the criteria, and I've put that it increases the accessibility of a community asset, and it enables more people to be able to visit the grave, church building and grounds.
That's fine. No, I did see that. I was just double checking to clear it in my mind. No, Chair, I'm happy to propose if required.
Thank you very much. Is there a seconder, please?
I'll quite happily second that, Councillor Bolt.
Okay, right. So we'll do the whole thing again. Right, Councillor Bolt, you heard the whole presentation. You're happy to support?
Yeah, I'm just having to think about, yes, of course, present and heard the application, and I'm for it.
Thank you. Councillor Cordiner?
Yep, I heard the application and happy to support it.
Thank you. Councillor Costello, you heard the application?
Yes, thank you, Chair. Happy to support.
Thank you. Councillor Graham Godwin Pearson?
Yes, thank you, Chair. Happy to support it.
Thank you. Councillor Matthews?
Yes, I heard everything and happy to support it.
Thank you. Councillor Redman?
Seen, heard and support, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Riches?
Yes, heard the proposal and happy to support. Thank you.
Thank you. And I heard all the proposal. I'm happy as well to support it.
Thank you, Chairman. That's unanimous, and that's 2,500 awarded. Thank you.
Thank you. Right, now we go on to Appendix D, Grenton Village Hall. Liam?
Thank you, Chair. So this is an application for £669. So you'll notice it's come under Grenton Village Hall. They don't just manage and run the hall. The committee that oversees the charity, they also run community events and activities, and I've detailed some of those there. Part of that, they within Grenton, two of the local, I suppose, village icons. One of that is the old telephone box, and for whatever reason, it was missing a door. A lot of the local residents came together, and the village hall oversaw a community consultation to identify how it should be used, and residents decided that they would like to see a defibrillator and for that to be placed in the box. But what they notice is that without a door, it puts the defibrillator, but more so the actual structure, the internal structure of the phone box, at risk. So they are applying for funds to cover the cost of a replacement door that includes the installation kit. Local residents have already started painting it again. I believe that's been finished, and they are in a position to order all of the kit and put it together. They have all of the appropriate permissions in place. So I have saved correspondence between British Telecom, Sedgemoor District Council and Grenton Village Hall. And they've highlighted why they believe it will benefit the area, which is it ensures that it has access, that the village will have access to a well-protected defibrillator, and ensures the ongoing protection of a traditional and now disappearing part of village life, the big red phone boxes. And it supports it meets the criteria under the developing new initiatives in rural areas and supporting rural heritage. I had no outstanding questions or other things missing, so that's it for now from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions?
Chair, Councillor Redmond again.
Yes, thank you.
Bear with me 2 seconds. I just lost. I said that, and the file disappeared. Just some clarification, really. The crowdfunding page is up and running. So I didn't quite get that, Liam. Did you confirm that they've now got the full amount of money?
No, they did not have the full amount of money. They are crowdfunding the remaining cost. They found that the crowdfunding is a little slower than anticipated, but I've spoken to the chap who made the application, and they're looking at other fundraising ideas to cover the remaining.
Chair, if we can put a caveat on there that of a time limit is that we don't release our money until they've got the full funds, I'm happy to propose it.
Right. Okay. Is there a second with that caveat?
Yes, Chair, I'll second Councillor Richards.
Thank you very much. Right. Okay. So we go through. We'll start at the bottom again. So you heard all the report. Charlie Richards, are you happy to support the proposal with the caveat?
Yes, Chair, I support that.
Thank you. Councillor Redman.
I was ready this time, Chair. Thank you. Yes, all heard and fully support.
Thank you. Councillor Matthews.
Yes, I heard everything and fully support.
Thank you. Councillor Godwin Pearson.
I heard everything and happy to support. Thank you.
Councillor Costello.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Happy to support.
Thank you. Councillor Cordiner.
Yeah, heard everything and happy to support.
Thank you. Councillor Bolt.
And present, heard the application and for it.
Yes, thank you. And I heard all the presentation and I'm happy to support that.
Thank you, Chairman.
Okay.
So that'll be that's a unanimous vote. So that'll be 669, subject to match funding the remainder that was needed.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you very much. Right, the next one is Appendix G, which is the Burnham Railway Heritage Group. Okay, Liam.
Thank you. So, Burnham Railway Heritage Group have applied for £2,025. They are looking to acquire and fix 4 heritage trail display boards to inform followers of a railway heritage from Burnham and Highbridge, along with some leaflets for extra literature. They have so the local parish council will only fund non-COVID groups from September, so that was my confusion earlier. So they'll be funding the remaining through their reserves. You'll notice that their closing balance was larger than their expenditure. So when I confirm that they have ring-fenced their current balance, notwithstanding this application and the reserves used for that, for a museum project, which is rather ambitious, but they aim to raise £180,000. So therefore, it doesn't fall within the 6 months running cost rule. I've received all supporting evidence for all the materials. The only thing I'm waiting for, I've been in correspondence with our planning department for the confirmation of each of the planning permission for the locations, but I do also have a map of where the locations will be, and I've been given assurance that discussions have already been underway with our planning team, and this is a continuation of other work similarly within Burnham. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Right, okay. Any questions from members, please? All quiet.
Can I, Councillor Richards again, can I just ask then to Liam, notwithstanding that the Burnham Town Council can't make money available before September, do they support this in principle? Do we know?
So yes, they do, and I had confirmation that licences are in the process of being drawn up between Sedgemoor District Council and Burnham and Highbridge Town Council, as the panels will become property of Highbridge Town Council once they are in place.
Are you happy with that, Councillor Richards?
Yes, I am. I'm happy with the information. Yes.
Okay.
Councillor Redmond, question.
Thank you. Yes, Kerry. Yes, Councillor Redmond.
Liam, so just for clarification, you just said that the district council were being asked to fund them. The town council aren't making any funds available until after October, but will take possession of them should we grant the application.
The part of the possession is ensuring that they are therefore responsible for the ongoing maintenance and insuring them and against any damage, etc. So it's a natural step that the council would take as it is in their area, and that's been the intention of other funds. That was the intention of other heritage trail aspects that they've done previously. So yeah.
Is that? Are you happy, Councillor Redmond?
I heard the response, Chair. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Is there anybody wishing to propose that we grant this?
Chair, could I? Sorry, it's Councillor Redmond again. I'm just.
Yes, sure, certainly.
I'm conscious that. Liam, is there any time critical element of this one?
Let me just check through their planned build dates, but as far as I was aware, off the top of my head, there is not. But if you bear with me 1 second, I will open up their application and look at the date that they had put to start the work. That doesn't necessarily give an indication of how urgent it is. They intend. Sorry, you'd think I'd know. I've looked at these applications enough time where exactly to find that information. The project start date is as soon as possible. That's all I've put.
But there's no intention to meet a specific deadline, because obviously this summer is lost, I would assume.
I can't confirm or deny that, but I've not been given any confirmation of either way.
Chair, perhaps I could help make a proposal then. I propose that we defer with the ability to allow this application to go to the town council or parish council when they agree to open their non-COVID funds related, and maybe come back at our October meeting. That will allow us potentially that will allow the parish or town council to make a contribution to it should they see fit, and obviously come back to confirm their support for the application.
Yes, that's fine. Is there anybody that will second that we defer it until we hear back?
Yeah, I'll second it, Chair. Polly Costello.
Thank you very much. So the proposal is that we defer it until we hear from the town council. Okay.
Could I just comment, Chair?
Yes.
As being on Burnham Town Council and being the parish council where these signs are going, they've not contacted me, but the parish council decided that the COVID the funds that we had would be better used for COVID, as we've had a torrid time in the town centre. Most traders are suffering very badly. Local groups are suffering badly, as they are everywhere, but because we're a tourism destination, we decided to reserve our money. That's why they've approached you directly and not ourselves.
I understand. Okay. Any comments from any other members, please?
If I could, Chair.
Yes.
I understand people's concern that this summer's over, but bearing in mind that Burnham is totally dependent on what they can get in the way of trade. Just reading the information board here, it is to do with visitors to the area. Would we be holding? My thoughts are: would we be holding back maybe some amount of money coming in from visitors because the signage is there? I can't disagree with Councillor Redmond, but I've just got that little reservation.
Thank you.
Chair, just for clarity, Councillor Redmond, I'm not questioning the validity or not of the application, and it's more a matter of, and I support, as has been indicated, that everyone in the country has been hit about COVID in one way or another. The question was that if our next meeting is in October, that would allow the town council to review the application should the applicant see fit to make an application, and it would help fit our qualification criteria.
Thank you. Right, okay, so we have a proposal and a seconder to defer it until the next grant meeting. That's correct?
My proposal still stands, Chair, yes.
Yes, thank you. Right, so what I'll do is I will take the votes from people and we'll see what happens. Okay, so if we start from the top. Councillor Bolt, are you in favour that we defer this until the next grant meeting when we've heard from the Town Council?
Yeah, I've heard the application and I'm for this Councillor Redmond's proposal.
Thank you. Councillor Julie Cordiner, are you for the proposal?
Yep, I heard the proposal and Councillor Redmond's amendment, and I support this proposal with the amendment.
Thank you very much. Councillor Costello, are you?
Yes, I'm happy for it to be deferred. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Councillor Godwin-Pearson, are you for the current proposal?
Thank you, Chair. I'm happy for it to be deferred as well.
Thank you. Councillor Alan Matthews, are you happy to with the proposal?
No, I'm not. I heard everything, but no, I'm not. I'm against the proposal.
Thank you. Councillor Redmond, are you for the proposal?
Heard and seen and as proposed. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. And Councillor Richards, are you for the proposal?
Yes, I'm voting in favour of deferring this, Chair.
Right, thank you very much. And I'm in favour of deferring this proposal as well. Mrs. Nicholson.
Thank you, Chairman. So the proposal is to defer the application until the October meeting so that the organisation can make an application for grant funding to the Town Council.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Right, the last one is Appendix H, which is the PCC of Holy Cross Church in Middlezoy. Liam, are you still with us?
I am. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
So they have applied for a grant of £2,500. The total project cost is £7,030. As the application states, lead was stolen from the south aisle roof of the church in February. A local builders covered this in temporary plastic sheeting, and they are looking for a solution to more adequately protect the roof until they can fundraise the total funds for the full repair of the roof, which is between £30,000 and £40,000. The grant would fund part of the architect's fees along with the provision and laying of the felt. I have received all of the quotations for the work. It's worth pointing out that they were rejected from Middlezoy for parish council funding because they've put there that there was there's a 1894 Act that prevents parish councils awarding grants to places of worship. They've put that the remaining underspend will be covered through their donations and self-funding. Their total funds are under the 6 months running costs because they have restricted funds. Their restricted funds is going towards the full cost of the £30,000 to £40,000. And I inquired about insurance and what their cover was. So I'm just going to read that out for you. So they've received £7,500 towards the roof repair and £1,000 towards the architect's fees from the insurers to go towards the £30,000 to £40,000, but they did not receive the full amount as they did not have an anti-theft monitor on the roof. They paid in excess of between £300 to £500 at the time when they responded to me. They didn't have the exact amount, and they had to pay for the plastic sheeting, which cost them £500. So the covering that the felt covering they're applying for, in their view, will allow them to properly protect it until they have saved up enough to pay for the full works, and the plastic sheeting has not got much life left in it. And that's it from me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any response from members, please? I take it no. Anybody at all? Anything? Any response at all?
I hope that my rendition didn't send everyone to sleep.
Right. Okay. So
I'll comment if you will, Chair.
Sure.
I mean, clearly this appears to be quite urgent in terms of the possibility of water ingress into. I imagine this is a scheduled building. Is it? Presumably it's grade 2. I'm not sure, or maybe it's even grade 1 being a church.
Grade 1.
Grade 1, right? Okay. I believe I'm right in saying from some other situations I've known of is that the Church of England won't provide funds to an active church. You know, were it to be closed, they would then, under their rules and regulations, have to provide the funds to carry out the works. But I believe I'm right that as it's ongoing and they have parishioners, it's up to the parishioners. Being urgent, our money would certainly, of course, be very helpful, but that still leaves them with a shortfall, which, you know, and I think that's probably what some of us may be thinking is, where is that money going to come from? I don't know if Liam could comment on those points to give us a bit more guidance as to about whether, you know, we should be supporting this now.
Liam?
Oh, sorry, I muted myself instead of unmuted. Anyway, they have, as you can see on my screen now, they have restricted funds of £9,100, which leaves their unrestricted funds as £3,490. They've put there that the remaining underspend will be covered through donations and self-funding. As with all of these applications, I have to take that as on merit. So it's entirely, I can probe further, but the fact is they have said that that is what their intention is, that they will use a mixture of self-funding and donations. And similar to other decisions that you've made, you can choose to grant it based on the success of that, or I can ask further questions. That's all I can say at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Bolt, did you want to say?
Yeah, thank you. I think Councillor Ritchie's answered quite a lot of the questioning as to why this hasn't been funded centrally, because of the nature of the building. And if its roof felt's been put on properly, it's probably got a decent life of, what do we say, 5-10 years. And hopefully that would be enough time for them to get the funding. So with that in mind, I can't see a problem. I'd quite happily propose it.
Thank you. Do I have anybody wishing to second their proposal?
Chair, could I just seek some clarification, please? Councillor Redmond.
Yes.
I'm just going, so the officer indicates that it meets the criteria by way of the community facilities, grants to village halls for small capital works. If we were to look a little bit further down, I'm just trying to figure out how it fits, how a church building would fit within our qualification criteria. Because if you scroll to pages 16, 17, etc., and 80, where it outlines projects, it talks specifically. I was trying to find where it fits. It talks so community facilities, grants to village halls, improving well-being for access to community services for the disabled. I'm going to be a little bit. Could I just seek clarification over the criteria, please? How it fits our criteria?
Thank you. So this aspect, the community facilities, this is in direct relation to the other grant that we provide, which is the Village Hall Capital Grant Scheme. And I liaise with another officer who's away at the moment for clarification on this. And as with the Village Hall Capital Grant Scheme, it comes under, it's classed as a community facility. And although we've highlighted village halls there, village hall is not the only community facility. That would bar community centres, for example, which can apply. But as with all things in this nature, it is entirely at the discretion of members to decide. Thank you.
Thank you for the clarification.
Thank you. Right, is there any more questions? Because we've had a proposal from Councillor Bolt to grant this.
I'll second if that helps, Chairman.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Right, okay, so we have to go through everything again. Right, Councillor Bolt, you've heard the report. Are you in support of the grant?
Yeah, President, I heard the application and I'm for it.
For it, thank you. Councillor Cordiner?
Yep, I heard the application and I support it.
Thank you. Councillor Costello?
Yes, heard and I support. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Godwin Pearson?
Thank you, Chair. I've heard the application and I support it.
Thank you. Councillor Matthews?
Yes, I heard the application and I support it.
Thank you. Councillor Redman?
Seen, heard, and I'm abstaining on this one, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. And Councillor Richards?
Yes, I heard the application and I will support this.
And I heard the whole report and I am for the grant. Thank you, Mrs. Nicholson.
Thank you, Chairman. That is 8 with 1 abstention, and that's for 2,500.
2,500. Thank you. Okay, and the last on the agenda is I think it's number 9. Number 9, if I can find it. And that is the change to the criteria. So sorry, Liam, we're over to you again.
That's all right. I'll try and add a bit more tempo to my tone. I feel like I'm like a droll. I'm just anyway. Right. So this. So I'm sure you've all had time to look through the report. I've highlighted at the top that this is to consider whether to amend the grants criteria. And this is in particular in light of COVID-19 and the community brokerage meetings, which is a grouping of meetings between all of the district councils, the county council, and representatives from the charity and voluntary organisation sector. Districts have been asked to look at ways to support voluntary organisations as a result of COVID-19 and the diminished reserves and the lack of activity and fundraising that these groups have undergone. So this is a discussion paper, and really what we need is to discuss and then make an agreement on whether or not to make any of the changes that are in section 4. So in section 4, these are the recommendations that have been put forward that the district council can do to further support groups. I'm not going to go through the ins and outs of it. You've all had time to read it. So bearing in mind, this is what we need to discuss. Should members be minded to consider amending the grants criteria for this year, the following options could be explored. Option 1 is amending the criteria to allow to claim for running costs. So at the moment, groups do not cannot claim for running costs under our current grants criteria. So doing this for a time limited period of 1 or 2 cycles of the grants awards subcommittee. And the note there is that organisations may need funding with a faster turnaround than the usual committee cycle. So a decision would therefore, under that circumstance, need to be taken as to whether or not to delegate the authority to, I don't know how it would actually work, but to make decisions quicker than the actual cycle of the committees. Another option is setting an upper limit as to funds towards running costs, which could be the current maximum of £2,500 or as a proportion of project costs. And other grant providers have started to do that now. So, for example, if you're applying for £5,000 of funding, you can apply for 20% on top for running costs as well. And that is done on a percentage basis. And then you've got removing the requirement for match funding. So at the moment, we provide funding of up to £2,500 that is matched. So for example, if a group was applying for £3,000 to provide grass cutting in a church, they could be awarded £2,500 rather than £1,500, which would be 50%, which is the current amount we will do. So we're currently match funding 50%. The other one is ring fencing a proportion of the total budget for grants. For example, £20,000, and that would be to support organisations seeking funding for loss of income. And then this is a caveat to say that in all circumstances, we would ask organisations to demonstrate the following, and this is to mitigate any risks that organisations would not properly spend the funds, or that it would be wasted, or any other concerns. So this is new territory for me, so I don't know necessarily how you'd like to discuss it or how a decision needs to be made. I'm kind of at the mercy of Democratic Services here. So Leila, if you could comment, or Chair, if you can, please. Thank you.
I don't think I can comment. It's really up to you. I think I might have advice. I think my advice would be that you need to obviously debate the issues. If anybody wants to make a proposal on 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever the criteria, and we can make a resolution at the end of that.
Fab, thank you.
Councillor Redman.
Thank you, Chair. So, Liam, so one assumes that you haven't got a draft up your sleeve then for what you might think to go.
Would you like me to share my screen with the report?
I've got I've got the formal words that's in the report. I just wondered whether you had an idea of a direction of travel.
From my own personal thoughts, there are pros and cons for all options. I think that the original intention of the committee, and excuse me if I'm incorrect, this is just hearsay, but that the reason we do match funding and we do not fund running costs is to encourage sustainability. And there's an argument that at the moment that the groups have lost income. What can we do to support them? Should we take some risks as a committee to just support the groups? I honestly think that what I've seen that works well is where there's a percentage of the funds for running costs, and I think that encourages groups to still promote activities and do things. But I have spoken to individuals, in particular two are referenced in the report, where they've said that it's just the basic running costs without any projects that they're finding difficult. Some groups they don't want to try anything new. They're quite happy with the way things are going. They might have set up fundraising and they might have regular activities, but they're struggling to just cut the grass, or they're struggling to pay staff salaries or whatever it is. So I really don't know. There is not a best option, whichever way you go. But then you could just take, I think at the very least, taking away the requirement for matched funding or running costs. The match funding part would be easier than the running costs, because you will have, I think that pot of money would disappear in a flash if people just apply for running costs. But the matched criteria, at the very least, I think would be very helpful for groups, because some of them, they don't have the knowledge or expertise to go out and look bid writing and competing with lots of other ones, and some of them are very locally based, and you as councillors will have connections and know them. But if they're applying for bigger pots of money, they can't always get the smaller things. So I'm sorry, I've gone around the bush a little bit, but you can see it's not an easy.
So Chair, forgive me. I'm just I know how I fully support the intent, and I fully support the direction of travel. The problem I have, and this is me being honest, and trying to make a decision like this by committee will be potentially problematic, and we will be bound to, unless there's any definitely need for this. Could I suggest that we devolve responsibility down to the chair and vice chair in consultation with officers to bring a more formal proposal forward at the next meeting? That would allow. I'm happy to be part of an email conversation around to what it looks like. But what it would do, it would save us probably about 45 minutes and get a result that we could all support very quickly. So the proposal, Chair, is to defer the decision down to you in the chair in consultation with officers, so that you could bring a more formal, because there are 5 different options there, of which I could probably think of 2 or 3 options for each of those. Yes. I think it would probably be better unless it's time critical, I would suggest that we defer the responsibility down to you and bring it to the next meeting.
Yeah, that's true. Is it time critical, Liam, that this is decided now?
I would say it is, in the respect that the groups are struggling right now, and you could say that within 3 months' time, if we were able to make the decisions that would support groups out. Well, if you look at the second point, that's the only point where a change, that I can see anyway, a change would allow the provision of grants or grant funds to groups outside of the next committee meeting. So notwithstanding that, yes, it's time critical in that the groups are struggling now, but all of the others, I suppose, take into account that the decision will be made and then implemented for the next grants meeting, which would tie in the same amount of urgency as what Councillor Redmond has just discussed. So I see the only option is you either go for an option where a decision can be made either now that includes the second point where it can be done outside of it, or it's immaterial and a decision made now, or a decision made as Councillor Redmond suggested. Either way, it will be decided and acted upon for October.
Okay. Councillor Bolt, you wanted to did you want to speak?
You're muted still, Councillor Bolt.
I'll push my button again. Sorry, the question I had was whether it was time critical, because there's so many different parts to it. But I understand that people want the money now because they are not being supported as they normally would. But that's only one part of the 4 or 5 things that we're looking at.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Richards.
Thank you, Chair. Just specifically on taking away the requirement for match funding, and if we look at the grants we've had applications for today, none of them would go ahead, because if we're staying at 2.5, well, the door of the telephone box would have done, but most of them wouldn't go ahead if we're staying at 2,500. So I mean, de facto, there has to be match funding for most of the projects that we consider on this committee to go ahead. Secondly, just to say, on the suggestion raised by Councillor Redmond, I mean, could that be resolved in the same way we resolved the changes to the environment criteria, in that the chair, vice chair and officers hone down to a practical solution to this, and then we agree by email so that it doesn't have to wait till October?
Yeah. Liam?
Chair, forgive me. I believe the committee chair, the committee officer, Leila, was looking to come in. She might be able to help us in this.
Sorry, yes, Leila, I was going to.
Only exactly what Councillor Richards was going to say, or has said. I was proposing we put a time limit on that report being created. I mean, obviously there is an urgency to this. I think that's been shown in that report that we've had today, and the fact that the report was quite an urgent one to come onto the agenda. I mean, I think what Councillor Richards is saying is exactly right. We defer the decision to the chairman, vice chairman, officers. We get a report done in the next week or so, perhaps, hopefully 2 weeks. Okay. Okay, certainly by the middle of August, we'll get a report round and to the rest of the committee, and we put it in. You put your responses in writing to the proposals, and then we go from there, and a decision can be made at that point. And I think hopefully the legal officer will also agree, because I think that was the legal information previously. So I'll let the legal officer say yes or no to that one.
Thank you. I genuinely can't remember whether it was myself or a colleague that agreed with the last round of changes for the process to be approved via email, but I think it is a timely and appropriate course of action to take. I agree that there should be a time limit, and it would be really helpful for members, or it would have been helpful had this committee, had this particular report included recommendations for consideration. So I think that the suggestion that the matter be considered by chair and vice chair in consultation with officers or with a time scale, and then recommendations, very clear recommendations being proposed for members to consider, is absolutely the right way to go. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So I think that's probably what we're going to do. You need a proposal to do that, or can we just take it from everybody? Thank you. Right, so we have to go through everybody.
Chair, just to be clear and to help you out, I'm assuming that the proposal will be that we defer the decision down to the chair and vice chair, and in consultation with the committee, to come back within 2 weeks.
That's my understanding, yes.
If that's the proposal, Chair, I'm happy to formally propose that.
Thank you very much. Any seconder for that?
Councillor Bolt, I'll second that.
Thank you. Do I need to go round all the councillors to agree that?
Yes, please.
Okay, right, what's my list? Hang on, everybody here. Councillor Bolt?
Yeah, President, heard the application and I'm for the latest proposal.
Right. Councillor Cordiner?
Yeah, I support the latest proposal.
Thank you. Councillor Costello?
Yes, I support it. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Godwin-Pearson?
I support the latest proposal.
Thank you very much. Councillor Matthews?
I support the latest proposal.
Thank you. Councillor Redman?
Yes, Chair. Seen, heard and support.
Thank you. And Councillor Richards?
Yes, I support the latest proposal.
And I support the proposal as well. So that means that we defer it until the chair has had and the vice chair have had a meeting with the whole of the grants to ascertain that that report. Thank you.
Chairman, we're not having a meeting. We're just going to do it by email.
No, I know.
Just
Sorry.
to clarify it. Sorry, just to clarify. That's
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's what I meant. So we can get it. So we can get something in writing very quickly. Thank you. Right.
Chair, if I may.
Sure thing. Yes.
Thank you. So, can I please ask everyone? My colleague who wrote the report, they're away now, so I'll be taking this forwards. So please, can you kindly have a look through, and I will obviously message you all one-to-one, but I would love any feedback or thoughts on the criteria, so that when I look into this further and present the case, even before I message you individually, it will help. That's it. Thank you.
Liam, sorry, Councillor Redmond, just to come in. Sorry, Chair. I just had a look at the document. It's a PDF. Could you ping us the Word document, and it would help with manipulation rather than me have to retype the whole thing?
Of course, yeah, no problem at all.
Thank you.